enlightenment and enlightening experience. It's an energy where if you realize yourself, your way of being and becoming with awareness, pure awareness, knowing your authentic self, when you become peace and bliss with yourself, it's the journey of being enlightened. It's a journey of being happy, joyful, cheerful, living most of the time, and willing to share that joy with others, share with others. This is what in Shivadhyanyoga we teach. To know yourself, to know authentic self of yourself, and know your soul, self, omnipresent, universal life, and be in the light of your heart chakra, be in the Om, omnipresent magic, omnipresent miracle. So being always optimistic, positive, all challenges can transform into the creations of a possibility. So what is important in being in your karma? So do your karma, all actions with a happiness, with a acceptance. It's like living life with a joy and more knowing way. If you are meditative and you know yourself, then you become a more enlightened, knowledgeable person. Your knowledge is awakened, Jagrata, and it allows you to automatically be happy and joyful, accepting thing as it is, that it is, doing all the karma as a work, as a play. One becomes cheerful most of the time and willing to share whatever joy you get with the optimistic way to others. Doing a karma with a peaceful and serene way. With Shivadhyanyoga, self-knowing and being with your affirmative, aligned self-being, one becomes peaceful and serene and free from all the fear and unwanted emotions. Meditations make you peaceful and serene. Actually, one can see that the human condition reaches beyond this physical existence. So if you understand this, you get awakened, you realize this, realize your possibilities, self-boundaries and self-knowing what is possible. Then the fear of the unknown dissolves and you become free, worry-free, and understand that freedom from suffering comes from within. If you stop your self-inner noise from the head, there is a possibility of future universal now, then fun. Being loving, kind and compassionate whenever you do your karma or action. The realized one is loving, kind and compassionate for two main purposes. First is you genuinely care about other people in relationship, in friendship, wholly as a loving person. Regardless of whether they care about you or not, you care about them because you are being in the karma of the love, care and being compassionate. The realized one knows that other people give them lot of spiritual, intellectual and love nourishment. So you go growing and be spiritually open to everything which is possible and everyone which is a contributory. The realized one living in a life is not self-centered or self-possessed because there is no separate self. With the Shivadhyanyoga sense of oneness, one can see the interconnected nature of our existence. It's not a concept, it's a reality. Realized one depend, interact with each other and live in the symphony, harmony, inner joy, vast vibrations and awakening here. This Shiva being the Shiva with Shivadhyanyoga. Seeing the Shiva, being the Shiva and being self-help in various aspects of a life. Whenever you do some actions, do it with a peace and emotionally stable state. The realized what is emotionally stable, because there is no sin, self-inner noise in the head, and mind is not making you mad, and there is no ego that need validation, importance for existence. So realize one is not get hurt if things are not happening as per their own way of expectation, because there is no ego to hurt. All the ego, all the eternal boring things must go. All the eternal thoughts of anger, worry, greed, frustrations, all that makes you upset must go. Because realized one understanding and compassion toward those who are not as far along the spiritual path, they accept the people who they are, what they are, the way of their saying, speaking, behaving, which makes you upset. But if you realize everybody is not your copy, they are who they are, and accept people and places and things and happening as it is, what it is, that it is, what happened. Don't attach any meaning to it, and be patient and understanding. The enlightened and realized with the Shivadhyanyoga person is patient, peaceful, silence, understanding, because the self-knowing appreciate how our ignorance create our own suffering. Suffering is not there, it's created in our mind. We understand the challenge of achieving self-knowing, knowing things as it is, that it is, and what it is. And we don't condemn people for their misbehavior. We understand the power of forgive and forget. Don't brood over same things again. And then remain humble and compassionate. Shivadhyanyoga teaches you to be smiling. Be a realized person. Be humble. Because we know this place in this universe, we have to do action. We must not wait for the fruits or the compliments. You do the actions with wholeheartedly. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. So our humble nature allows us to kind of gentle and to open to everyone, accept and encounter all the life in the oneness, being insightful and open-minded. The realized one, Shivadhyanyoga teaches to realize Satyam Shivam Sundaram, truth, consciousness and bliss, and your insightful and open-mindedness. You can see the world with a great clarity, without attachment to preconceived ideas about people, places, things, and you become peaceful to yourself. One becomes unable to observe the world without jumping into conclusion, judging them. Accepting things as it is, what it is, and that it is the way of the superconscious, or with consciousness one sees and accepts the nature of self and nature of others.